What's up, guys? It's a new week. Thank you for allowing us. I'm Micah Smith. This is Mike Watson. Just want to let you guys know. Last week we did the same thing, same palm tree atmosphere, same thing, everything, but
we lost it.
Technology just kind of wasn't working for us. It wasn't in our side. It wasn't in our favor. So right now we're gonna split up the videos according to what interests you the most. We're going to go through, in this video, we're going to go through weeks 1 and 2, give you scores, give you the players of the week, just so those don't get lost in the headwind. And then by Friday, we are going to be posting the rest of the podcast, week 3, standings, 5 burning questions.
Go over the stats. Season stats.
Exactly. This is kind of just a rough overview of the weeks 1 and 2, just so we can kind of get this accounted for and make sure that weeks 1 and 2 performers and scores are not just left in the wind, like we said. So week 1, 2013 CFFL draft. You want to take week 1?
Sure. Week 1. First game of the season was Boom Nation and Walking Dead. Boom Nation ended up coming on top, 30-18. What's the Walking Dead's quarterback's name? Rookie quarterback, 16-year-old.
Walking Dead, Mike White.
Mike White.
Impressive
first game.
But just not enough to beat Boom Nation, just for the fact that Boom Nation is experienced players and came out with the W.
Chemistry.
Big thing I think in that game was that Boom Nation knew how to play CFFL type offense and defense. So Mike is just a little bit adjusting. As we see in the upcoming weeks, Mike proves to be one of our best quarterbacks in the league.
He's great. He's fantastic.
Especially for his age, 16 years old. Good thing he didn't throw at the combine.
Yeah.
Kind of sandbagged a little bit, but Wes Morton...
A lot of sandbagging in the combine.
Wes Morton brought his boy in that he's been coaching since supposedly Pop Warner, and he played well. But Boom Nation with Samson Georges and Jude Lewis comes out with a victory in that one.
All right, so game 2, it was Creepy Crawlers and Wolfpack. Creepy Crawlers came out on top, 33-13.
33-13. Creepy Crawlers came out, captained by John Crawl. Creepy Crawlers, John Crawl.
Creative.
Alphonse Restignio is his quarterback.
Monster game. 5 touchdowns, I think?
5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Justin Klein was the recipient of 3 of those touchdowns.
Nasty.
Unfortunately, he partially tore his LCL.
Ouch.
One of those on the first touchdown, but kept playing.
Still played.
Helped his team get the victory. Creepy Crawlers beat Wolfpack, the same team as last year. Jake Snavely's Wolfpack. Same color, same team name, not original name. But hey, it's starting a dynasty. I guess what he's talking about.
It's tradition, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Jake Snavely with his brother John Snavely, their leading receiver. Freedom running, and then they have Matt Lansing, of course, to go along with them. First week, they didn't really have a lot of chemistry. We thought that they would have a lot of chemistry coming out because they played with almost this exact same team in a different league. But they did not come out with chemistry this week 1. So Creepy Crawlers definitely took advantage of that. Final score was 33-13, 20-point blowout, and definitely a huge advantage for Creepy Crawlers in that one.
In Game 3, Week 1, Beast Mode versus Diesel. Beast Mode was impressive. They won 38-12. The newcomer versus the seasoned vet.
You're right. Zach Tanner, the captain of Beast Mode, had his team ready to play. Diesel, captained by Sean Steed, been here since year 1. One big thing I think in this one was Diesel didn't have their star receiver Robinson Roche show up. He was the number 2 overall draft pick. Wasn't at the game. Supposedly was sick in bed all day, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Beast Mode definitely has a very talented team. Gladell Brutus, Justin Tanner, Zach Tanner, newcomer Chris Weaver, another quarterback that didn't throw at the combine.
Sandbagging.
He played well again. Had 6 total touchdowns in that game, 4 passing, 2 rushing.
Nasty.
Definitely had a solid output in his first game as well. Beast Mode, definitely Beast Mode of Diesel.
Yeah.
Came out on top 38-12, and that leaves us to our last game.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
No pun intended versus Renegade. I thought you were going to destroy them.
Well, no you didn't. No you didn't. You picked them.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was just siding with Tyler, honestly, but I did pick no punt.
No punt intended. Final score was 18-15 in favor of no punt intended. Tyler Felt, rookie captain, brought in Dustin Denman, quarterback from Ocoee, and he definitely played a lights out, both offensive and defensive wise. Final score was 18-15. My team had an opportunity to win it at the end.
Couldn't execute.
Couldn't grasp it. Couldn't pull in the winning catch. But I mean, that's just
It happens.
That's just sometimes how it goes. And yeah, I mean, week 1, pregame jitters out of the way, chemistry out of the way. No pun intended, definitely came out with more fire, and they got the W in that one.
Yep. So to wrap up week 1, we've got the offensive, defensive, and overall MVP of the week. Offensive MVP of the week was Chris Weaver. 4 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns.
2 rushing
Monster
touchdowns.
game.
Impacted the game on definitely the offensive side of the ball. Definitely slinging the rock around, taking advantage of what perhaps...
He's got a motor on defense, too.
Oh, he does. Well, he didn't really play much defense, I don't think.
I saw him a couple times get some
tackles. He's a very energetic guy. He'll
let you know if you're doing something wrong.
He'll definitely let you know if you're doing something wrong. I haven't heard if you're doing something right. Oh yeah, he says if you're doing something right. He's just playing some fun. But no, definitely has energy on both sides of the ball. Offensive wise in week 1, definitely played a huge impact.
All right, now defensive player of the game. This guy, he was eye popping to me. He did extremely well for his first game ever. Reggie Polidor.
Right.
4 tackles. Boom Nation. 4 tackles, an interception, and 3 deflections. It's great.
Overall, great game. Reggie Polidor was at the combine. Didn't
sandbagging
again.
I saw it.
I saw him there.
I saw him run the 40, trotting it. Probably ran like a 6.5.
He participated, not necessarily gave his best effort, but Reggie Polidor is a safety and receiver for Boom Nation. Definitely played a huge impact on defense as their cornerstone safety. Brought in a couple tackles, had a huge interception to keep the route going, and then also added 3 blocks, which means he was all around the ball when it was in the air.
All right, now overall MVP. This was a no-doubter. No-doubter for me.
This one didn't really play a factor because he, on both sides of the ball, had the best game,
overall
offensive and defensive-wise, impacted his team.
MVP goes to Justin Klein.
Justin Klein. The injured Justin Klein.
8 receptions, 3 touchdowns on a torn LCL. Also had 2 tackles and 2 big interceptions.
Definitely. And I think he almost took one back to the house, one of those interceptions, but got tackled. But Justin Klein proves that you can play injured, kind of gritted his way through it, and unfortunately didn't get to play week 2, but we'll come on to that right now. Week 2, perfect segue into it. Week 2, the first game of week 2 is Beast Mode versus Wolfpack. Beast Mode coming off a huge win in week 1, Wolfpack coming off a huge loss. Wolfpack comes away with a victory. Jake Snavely and John Snavely pulled together a string of confidence. Wolfpack won 18-12, defeating the mighty Beast Mode. John Snavely played a huge game. I believe he had 3 passing touchdowns. Also played a huge role on defense, adding a crucial interception and 4 tackles as well. A thing with Beast Mode is two or three of those players did not show up in this game.
Yeah, Justin Tanner and
Gladell Brutus
both didn't show up.
The 2 of the 3-headed monster did not show up, just leaving Zach Tanner there to kind of fend for himself. And when you can double team a guy as much as you can, if you need another option to kind of step up and play through in the clutch, and it proved that Beast Mode needs all their players there, and it shows how important it is to have your players show up on a weekly basis and not just show up one week, miss the next, because then your team will suffer for it. So Wolfpack comes out with a win, 18-12, in favor of Wolfpack against Beast Mode. Week 2, Game 2, my team Renegade, losing a tight one in Week 1, plays Creepy Crawlers, who blew out Wolfpack. We blew out Creepy Crawlers.
It was a great game for you.
Oh, we played well, 27-6. Kind of gelled as a team. Definitely had some chemistry coming into it. We kind of figured each other out this game. Got Norley Cappy back. He didn't come in Week 1, so he definitely played a huge role in our defense and offense as well.
And your boy that dropped the touchdown pass had a rebound game, didn't he?
Jacob Stevens definitely played a huge game. He had, I think, 4 or 5 receptions. Don't have the stats right in front of me, but he definitely played a good game in his second week as a CFFL rookie. But another thing to be said, Creepy Crawlers was without Justin Klein
and Alex Bell.
2 of their playmakers on offense and defensive side of the ball. Justin Klein was spring break, so he was on a cruise. Alex Bell hurt his bicep, so he was taking stats on the sideline, rehabilitating so that he can come back in Week 3. So it was definitely our full squad versus their depleted squad. I wouldn't say half squad, but definitely depleted. So that was what wrapped up Game 2, Week 2. And with my team, Renegade, coming out with a victory, 27-6 in favor over the Creepy Crawlers. Game 3, no puns intended, versus TBD. You guys had a bye week first week, so this was kind of your coming out party.
I knew that was going to happen.
Well, I mean, every team has a bye week, and we drew at random.
I just so happened to have the first one.
And you just happened to have the first one. TBD comes out in their season opener with their quarterback, Ty Moss. Ty Moss was, I would say, the only rookie quarterback along with Dustin Denman, that went out there and definitely
showed what he had.
No sandbagging. Threw the ball around. Well, it helped that you were packaged with him too, so it didn't really have a.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'm just saying, we may have to change that rule next year. But TBD comes out against no pun intended, 1-0. TBD 0-0, their first game of the season. TBD comes out and dominates, no pun intended, 24-12 in favor of TBD. Ty Moss, like we just mentioned, came out and had a huge game, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Ran the ball a couple times, showed that he can run the ball as well. I think the biggest thing in this game was that you guys had the deep pass and, of course, yourself throwing up the jump balls. And
I do what I can, Micah.
I mean, you just got to do what you do. No pun intended, this game, I don't think they had the same kind of fire they had the first week. I don't know why. Maybe it's because week 1 was a fluke. But no.
Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding.
They beat you, Micah.
I know they beat us. But, no, TBD definitely came out, exploited the deep ball, exploited the end zone conversions and the 2-point conversions, and came away with the victory 24-12.
Game 4.
Game 4, Walking Dead versus Diesel. This was a crazy game. It seems like Game 4
always great.
Always is the most exciting game of the week. So just because it's Game 4 doesn't mean you shouldn't stick around.
Show up.
Should stick around for all of the games because it's proven weeks 2 and 3, or 1 and 2.
And week 3.
And week 3.
We'll get to that, though.
We'll get to that in the next video. That they are crucial games because typically you have, in every single week, every single game, you have great teams matching up against each other. Walking Dead and Diesel. Walking Dead comes out with a victory 20-18.
20-18.
20-18, 2
Difference in the game was a safety.
It was, and the safety came on the first play of the game. Mike White blitzed in there, got a safety on Sean Steed the very first play of the game. And that proved to be the difference. A conversion, a safety, it sometimes is a difference in the game. Diesel had an opportunity. They threw a deep pass down the sideline. Robinson Roche made a nasty catch.
Catch of the week in my eyes.
Huge catch to go along with your jump balls. And had an opportunity to win it, but just didn't have enough time remaining in the end. And Walking Dead comes out with a victory 20-18. So the standings after that, we have a lot of 1-1 teams. We have 2 1-0 teams because the 2 1-0 teams
have buys
in weeks 1 and 2. So now the rest of those teams are done with their buys, so they can just roll through it. Very close going into week 3. Let's go over the week 2 offensive, defensive, and MVP. Offensive player of the week in week 2 of the 2013 CFFL draft is Ty Moss. Played an efficient game at quarterback in his coming out party. First game. Ty Moss had 4 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. I think he had like a 67% completion percentage. Definitely had a solid game, both running the ball and passing, as you can see by his 4 touchdown passes. And definitely played a huge role in his team's success and the win. Defensive player of the week, also from your team. Not biased, it's just how it goes. We both collaborated on it just to make sure that everybody has their fair share. Kirk O'Connor definitely impacted the game, as Dustin Dunman can tell you. Kirk O'Connor is one of the worst play against. Oh my gosh. 6'4", I would say. Solid 6'4". Gets his arms up, turns him into like 11-foot wingspan or something ridiculous like that. Had 4 pass deflections, 1 tackle, and 1 sack. And
impact of the game.
I think the impact of deflections are kind of misleading. Some people are like, oh, you just knocked the ball down. But in reality, you killed the play. Because in flag football, if once the ball hits the ground, it's over. So you block the pass, it goes down, hits the ground, game, or play over. There's no.
And to do that on D-line?
And to do that on D-line, being able to rush the passer, getting your hands up before the ball even has an opportunity to get to the DBs or the receiver, plays a huge impact on D-line, and definitely was our defensive player of the week for week 2. And the MVP of week 2 comes to John Snavely, leading his team. Started out the season kind of shaky, getting blown out. Comes back and wins against probably one of the more dominant teams in the league through week 2 of Beast Mode. They get the W in that game, mainly due to the part of John Snavely's 3 passing touchdowns, 4 tackles, and an interception in critical circumstance to seal the victory for Wolfpack. Definitely our MVP for the week, playing on both sides of the ball and having a huge impact as well. All right, so that wraps up week 1 and 2 recap. We are going to be back here on Friday, so keep your eyes out for it. We're going to be posting the standings, and we're going to be posting the standings today.
Hopefully we can figure out how to post the stats.
Hopefully we can figure out how to post the stats. It's just literally.
I'm keeping the stats. Don't worry.
We have our season stats.
We're going to
be going through Yeah, David Attaway. We have it all. It's just about getting on the website. We have season stats accumulated, so we will be reading those off on Friday when we have more time and an opportunity to go into depth about Week 3. But yeah, check back on Friday. We're going to be recording in the podcast with the same palm tree and everything. So we will be back in the Watson Lounge. The Watson Lounge, and going over Week 3's games. Some huge games, Walking Dead versus Wolfpack, TBD versus Boom Nation, the two undefeated teams squaring off. No Punt Intended versus Creepy Crawlers, teams looking to rebound. And Renegade versus Beast Mode, gotta love playing against the Tanners.
Oh yeah, always fun.
It's definitely fun. So check back here on Friday, and we will be posting the standings and try to have the stats posted as well, but we will definitely have the regular season stats on Friday's podcast as well. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on Friday.
See you guys.